Welcome back to What She Says Sports, everybody. All right, it's Nola Girl in the building. It is the off season. Why do I like the off season? Because our faves get to go out and about and enjoy themselves. And yes, people spot them along the way and take photos and videos. And sometimes people tag me like today. So I put together a host of videos so we can check in on our faves. So we track for the most part. We track the pro buffs. I wouldn't say throughout the season. I would say about maybe 3/4 of the season. But when things got hot and heavy in Cleveland, we had to abandon our efforts and just kind of focus on Shedeur because it was bad. It was just bad, right? Season ended on a dub, which is good, right? And the Browns are doing a hiring search, and I did a video about it, so I'm probably gonna drop that later. But for today, we're gonna be checking in our faves, and I got an update on y'all's nephew because he y'all nephew now. Because I just got a late breaking information about him, Jordan Seaton. That's y'all nephew now. You know what it is when they say your nephew, not our nephew no more. It's your nephew. That means they tripping, they bugging, or something. And the portal. So I've been doing a deep dive into the portal to see who's in at CU, and good news for the portal class, right? I think we had more 4 stars come in than we had go out. So that's pretty good, right? So we'll be talking about that. I took a peek into the portal. We got some information there. All right. So before we get into checking in on our faves, let me tell y'all about y'all's nephew. I don't know what the hell Jordan Seaton got going on, but either he being played or he trolling. I'm not sure which one it is. Earlier today, I shared it was announced that Jordan Seaton had a visit at the University of Texas. If you follow What She Says Sports, you heard me say last night that Texas, via Inside Texas, said they were all in on Jordan Seaton, right? And they were going to schedule a visit with him. Then I was like, oh, okay, cool, right? So they closed their statement by saying, but they wanted to wait. They're going to be checking in to see what Oregon does. And my response last night, 24 hours ago, was, why, if you interested in Jordan Seaton, are you worried about what the hell Oregon going to do? And that was the fair point. And we might now be getting to the cusp of what the hell is kind of happening here. So that was last night. This morning, it's announced Jordan Seaton has a visit with Texas. Oh, okay, right? And then all of these other players, I'm reposting on X. Some guy from Wake Forest, left tackle, hops into the portal. So I repost that because somebody was like, oh, maybe we could get him. And I was like, he looked pretty good. He was pretty decent on run blocking and excellent. I wouldn't say excellent, but like an 80 something on pass blocking. And I was like, oh, good. We already got a line on a left tackle, right? So I go do something else and I come back from lunch and I see a post that says the guy from Wake Forest who had just hopped into the portal after it was said that Jordan Seaton was going to visit Texas got signed by Texas. And I was like, ho, is he a left tackle? And they were like, yeah. I'm like, why the hell would they sign a left tackle who just hopped into the portal today with a do not contact tag? That meant when he hopped into the portal, he had a destination. So, old buddy, Melvin Ciani, he's from Canada, hops into the portal probably at about 10 o'clock, and by 12:30, he was gone and had signed to Texas. So I posted, okay, I don't know what the hell is happening here, but Jordan Seaton was supposedly going to go visit Texas, and they done signed a left tackle. Now, Melvin Ciani was signed for approximately $387,000, right? And Jordan Seaton's asking price is $2.5 to $3 million. And some places say it's 4.5 to 5. And I'm like, I don't know, right? I'm like, oh, okay, just taking all the information in. And I was like, well, maybe they're gonna get a depth guy. So I posted on the YouTube community page, and I posted on X. I said, by any chance are they gonna get 2 left tackles, and the one from Wake Forest gonna be like a backup, a depth guy. And then I remember what the people from UT was saying. They'll believe it when they see it about Jordan Seaton. And everybody that got this guy, Ciani, they seem to be happy about him. And I'm like, well, 387,000, and he had a better run pass grade. He was like a 66, and Jordan's run block was like a 55. So I don't know, maybe if that's what made them go with him, and he's played like 859 snaps, something like that. So anyway, they got a guy already at left tackle for 387,000. So then the day goes on, and I'm getting ready for this show, putting all the videos and clips I have together about checking in on our people, and I'm looking into the portal. And not 30 minutes before I went live, it said what it says on the screen, that Jordan Seaton is on a visit to Mississippi State, where Coach Phil Lodeholt, who left Colorado, went to. And I'm like, huh? I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell is happening here? So people going crazy on X saying he get played or he trolling. I don't know. I said, well, they said it was between Texas and Oregon, but I knew something wasn't right with Texas. That's why I said, wait a minute. If you interested in Jordan Seaton, what the hell are you worried about what Oregon's going to do? Now you see they was lying. They was lying. And Coach Prime posted today. Yesterday it was about don't be a fool or listen to a fool. Today it was about you better than this. You a game changer. Not that he was talking to Jordan Seaton. I'm just saying the message. It was spot on. It was like you a game changer. And you know, if you act small, you won't be seen and all this kind of stuff, right? And this was before the whole Mississippi State. So what Coach Prime was saying, don't listen to a fool. And here Jordan Seaton, I don't even know if his plane touched down at Texas or while he was on the way. If they said never mind, and then somehow he got a call from Mississippi State. But some people think Texas was never a thing. And I'm like, they think he left Colorado to go join Coach Phil Lodeholt at Mississippi State. I said he did all that to go to Mississippi State. And they said Mississippi State, like he coming here. Like, we not like that. They not like that. So I don't know what y'all nephew doing. So either he trolling before he go to Oregon, or Texas played him and he at Mississippi State because Oregon ain't answering the phone. I don't know what the hell is happening. But if it turns out to be they was just playing, karma showed up real quick. And this is going to be that lesson. Now, I don't like to see nobody get done bad, but I don't know what the hell is happening here. I don't know how you wake up and you was going to Texas. They signed somebody at lunch and you end the day at Mississippi State where you know a guy, you know, your old coach from. So I don't know if Oregon gonna pop up. I don't know if LSU is really a thing. I don't know what the hell is going on. People kept asking, was he really in the portal? So I'm like, yes, he's in the portal. I responded to somebody. I said, I'm sitting right here in front of my laptop. He's in the portal. In fact, he was the top 4th ranked player in the portal. So I took a look to see what, because he's a 5-star. And only 5 stars got signed this recruiting class. Just 5, right? Colorado was number 17 for the most 4 stars. But only 5 schools had 5 stars and only 1 5-star each per school. So it's only 5 5-stars out there. So in the portal, he was one of the 5 stars. And I thought it was weird that Seaton was in the portal and they hadn't scooped him up yet. Because remember, when Omarion got in the portal, he got scooped up. Siani, the guy that Texas ended up signing, he hopped into the portal with a tag that said, don't even call him, which meant I got somewhere to go. And I don't know how it is. Texas said they all in on Seaton. And he taking a visit the next morning. And next thing you know, he at Mississippi State. So I don't know what the hell is happening. But if they played him like that, that's pretty goddamn bad. So we're going to see. Maybe he going to end up at Oregon and he just don't want. Maybe he needs to work up the courage to let us know he was going to always bounce from Colorado to go to Oregon. Because see, what I didn't know that when Juju took his first 2 starts, I didn't know Seaton wasn't playing. So he had basically quit on the team 3 games toward the end of the season. I thought it was just that last game. So the person that he sat next to on the plane when I shared the photo, Juju, he had already committed to bouncing. You don't not play the last 3 games. Then you stay all off season and people think you're staying. Then right before the portal closed, you hop in the portal, you asking for $2.5 million. You supposedly going to Texas. You supposedly going to Oregon. Back when you stopped playing, you were singing about take me to Texas. And here come Texas saying they all in and they signed somebody else. So people are starting to speculate if maybe he rubbed people the wrong way by the way he treated CU on his way out? Let me know your thoughts. All right, let's move on. So that's y'all's nephew's latest. I said y'all. All right. I said y'all on purpose. Okay. Welcome if you're just not joining us. All right. So we're gonna get to the portal at the end. Let's get in here and have some fun. Let's get in here and have some fun. Let's see who I got first. Oh, first I want to know the Natty's coming up. Who y'all got? I'm rolling with Miami. I'm rolling with the University of Miami. Carson Beck. I don't know nobody else play over there. Carson Beck. You know I follow the quarterbacks, so I'm rolling with Carson Beck. Because everybody else I know is out, so I'm rolling with the University of Miami. I heard the ticket's $3,000. So yeah, if y'all there, send me some footage. At least the weather's nice, right? So I'm rolling with Miami. So let me know who y'all rolling with. And then y'all know the divisionals are coming up. I think I'm boycotting the NFL. I think I am. Y'all know why. Y'all know why. I think I'm boycotting. My protest is if they don't have no black quarterbacks in the Super Bowl, I'm not watching it. They have fired too many black people for me to be supporting it if it ain't no black people in the Super Bowl. The last time there were no black quarterbacks in the Super Bowl was when Joe Burrow played Matt Stafford, I think, for the Rams. I think it was the Bengals versus the Rams. Was that Matt Stafford? I know it was Joe Burrow because I watched that game. That was the last time. That was the last time it was no black quarterback in the Super Bowl. So I'm protesting because I feel like they did some finagling to make sure. So let me know who you got. Bears, Texans, Rams, Bills, anybody else I didn't mention, the Patriots, the 49ers, the Seahawks, whatever. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Okay. All right. Now, so we're going to get in here. All right. Let me see where we're going to start at. I got a lot of clips here. Let me take Seaton off since we done with Seaton. I'm saving Shedeur for last. You had to know I'm going to do that. Let's start with Jimmy. All right. So our guy, Jimmy Horn Jr., had a great season. Now, if y'all were paying attention, the end of the season, the last play of the game that ended the game for the most part, was a drop. I guess it was a drop pass by Jimmy. And, you know, I think that left him with his head down. So people were telling him to put his head up. But I was excited for him because, you know, Carolina Panthers, you know, pretty big on him. They like him. And people felt like he was underutilized. I'm people too. And I wanted him to go somewhere else. So I don't know what happened with that pass, but you know, it didn't go right. And people said, you know, not a lot of things that weren't nice about Jimmy. So I just hope that everything's okay. You know, because I personally, if you ask me, because I watched that game, if you ask me, I personally don't even know why they think the game was over with that pass, because I watched the left tackle or the left guard not block for Bryce Young. So that ain't on Jimmy. That's on their O-line. When it came down to the last drive, they did like they did Shedeur. The left people on the left weren't blocking. I was like, oh, here we go. And then they decided to throw to Jimmy after they've been underutilizing him all goddamn season. See, I didn't like that. They underutilized him all season, and they out here finagling against their own quarterback, which is not new for them. And now you want to go to Jimmy. And Rico say he won't out because toward the end of the season, they stopped using him. So they got some crap going on up there. And, you know, I just hope Jim is okay. So I haven't seen, it is the last thing I have for him. You know, I guess he got to get over what happened. I'm sure he's taking it pretty hard. You know, these guys are competitors, and sometimes they're not put in good situations. And I just don't want him to internalize any of this so that he's okay. So if y'all see Jimmy Page, y'all go show him some love. People telling him to hold his head up, and I totally agree. That ain't on you at all. I saw that O-line, and they've been playing Bryce Young. I knew they weren't going to let him get nowhere. So, and that was his first time getting there. So he going to have to go back 5 more times before they let him go. So Jimmy, hold your head up. You did good. And keep walking in your purpose. Just keep walking in your purpose. All right. So that's Jimmy. Let's see who we going to catch up with. Okay. All right. We are going to catch up with Leonte and Janiah. So y'all know I was a big fan of following Janiah when she was posting all of her trips on YouTube, but she stopped posting on YouTube And she started doing more of her, hair and makeup. And I ain't really I'm not big. I don't even wear makeup. I'm not in the makeup like that. And I don't do all the little lace fronts and stuff. But I don't mind it. I don't really follow content like that. So I guess I kind of lost a little bit after she kind of went more on TikTok with the makeup stuff. And that's cool. That's what they like over there. That's what they like. That's what they like. I don't have no problem with it. So I just, once she kind of went away from YouTube, I just kind of fell out of, following. She wasn't posting the trips no more. That's the part I thought was exciting. I was like, oh, where's she going this time? And I just, I love those. But she decided not to do that because, weird people started following her, and I get it. So I wasn't upset by it. So I just waited till she put together the montage, of his rookie season and them. And I'm just happy they made it through and they still together. I'm not going to start asking about a wedding just yet. But, knowing these two, they might put a little bit about their vacations. They already had some good vacations before. And one time they came to Atlanta and they met up with Jimmy. So I hope we kind of get to see, that from them as well. So shout out to Leonte and Janiah for making it through the rookie season as a couple and still being a couple. He's in love and she's in love, and they are a wonderful fit for each other. So, we'll be following them next year. I'm curious to see what happens with Leonte now that it seems the guy that was in front of him, DeAndre Hopkins, has said his goodbyes. And I said I was waiting for that moment because I knew he didn't have a long-term contract. And I had a feeling they were underutilizing him, so he probably might not be back. And it looks like I'm right? That was a good prediction. Not that I was hating on him, but he had his time, and he'll probably go to another team, and maybe Leonte will get the starting spot. So that's what I'm hoping for. So we'll be back to follow up with them throughout the offseason. Hopefully they'll post their vacation, but if they got weird stalkers and stuff, then they're not going to do it. So just enjoy this little video, and we'll just wish them well in the offseason. All right. So I'm assuming Leonte will be back because he has a contract with them. So I'm thinking he's going to spend his rookie time with them. The question is he going to continue to do, was it special teams, or is he going to become full-time? Like, I think it was wide receiver 3. So the starter for wide receiver 3. That's fingers crossed. That's what we're hoping for. Okay. All right. So that's that on them. And all right. So we're gonna move past them. I got so many windows open, so I have to start deleting some of this stuff because you know what happens. I think it starts to crash. All right. So, all right. Let me see who went here. Welcome, everybody. Hit the like button. Please subscribe. If you're just not joining us, I already catch the replay about Jordan Seaton, the late breaking information on where his plane landed. Who you got? Bears, Texans, Rams, Bills. Anybody else? Let me know if y'all watching the game. Do you plan on, who you're rooting for, that kind of thing. All right. So let's keep it pushing. All right. Now, since I'm rooting for the Texans, CJ Stroud, and I'm rooting for the Bears, and y'all know I'm a big Simone Biles fan, and Simone Biles Owens is married to a player, Jonathan Owens, for the Bears. I just want to know what she gonna wear. So part of my off-season clip montage is Miss Simone Biles and all of her looks that I told y'all about. So I'm gonna play that because I want to know what she's wearing to the game, and so do 149,000 people that like this video. I want to know. Sure that we can make sure we get some kind of footage of her. When I tell y'all she became the darling of the season, so we'll be picking up a little bit with the Bears. As long as Caleb and CJ Stroud in it. Once they gone, I'm gone. I'm telling you right now. If they kick out CJ and it's questionable, like that last game with the center kept missnapping the ball, yep, we know what that looks like. And if they play Caleb and play in his face and don't protect for him, I'm out. If they gone, I'm gone because it was a setup. So people are already predicting they're going to get screwed over, just like everybody else that got screwed over this season. So, because they seemingly want to do a whiteout for the Super Bowl. So I said they might let Caleb pass because they want to give it to Ben Johnson because, it's his first year as head coach and he's supposed to be all of that. I just think they was playing in Caleb's face last year. It didn't have nothing to do with Caleb. So I'm telling you now, if they gone, once they exit the playoffs, I'm out. I'll be watching basketball. So Simone Biles, I want to see what she's going to wear to the game. I'm going to be following the Bears. I already started today. If y'all know who Hoops for Hotties is, she's a Bears fan. She's on IG. She talks about basketball, but she talks about football too. And she's from Chicago, so she's big on it. I'm just gonna be talking about it from a perspective of Caleb, Chicago. For what I heard, they're talking about how influential the culture, Black culture, is in the Chicago Bears, I guess the marketing space. So you might hear me talking about stuff like that. So I'll be paying attention as long as Caleb and CJ Stroud are involved. Once they gone, if they kick them out, I'm gone. And I'm boycotting the Super Bowl. All right, so that was Simone Biles. I don't know if y'all follow her. Her TikTok is really good. Y'all know Simone Biles was just voted the Titan in the sports world for like the Time 100 most influential people. She's huge, right? And I don't play about Shedeur. I don't play about Simone Biles. I don't play about Angel Reese either, right? So I'll be looking for her. So if y'all see the little clips of Simone Biles and her fits leading up to the game and I missed it, send them to me. Send them to me. All right, so let's get back to football. All right, who else I have? I have somebody on here that y'all probably don't realize that I have. Let me just go ahead and share it now. All right, 142 of us. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. All right, this is Angel Reese. Now, where is Angel Reese? This is for my basketball fans and my fans and people who love Angel Reese. Angel Reese is in Berlin. Why? Because the NBA Berlin game was last night, and her man, Wendell Carter Jr., plays for the Orlando Magic. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. These two going to get married. I'm telling you right now. These two are going, Angel and Wendell, these two get married. Mark my words. I'm not saying they get married right now. I'm telling you, these two are like yin and yang. These two going to get married. I can already see it. And it's funny, I watched an interview with him before I even knew that they were dating. And I was like, man, this guy is really different, right? Like very, very respectful of his parents, his mother. And I just noticed how attentive he was to his mother, and very respectful of his father and his parents, as a unit. And I heard him do an interview and they were asking him one of those questions they always ask people. What do you prefer? Do you prefer to be known? Would you rather be wealthy or famous or something like that? And whatever the answer was, he didn't want to be in a spotlight. And I never really hear too much about him, but everybody likes him in the NBA, right? So I've watched Angel since I've been paying attention. And just because I don't talk about it on here don't mean I don't know about it. She's so different. Like, I wanted to say it out loud, but I didn't want it to be offensive. Angel Reese, the girlfriend, is an entirely different person. She's a woman. Angel Reese has gone from just a young girl trying to find her way to a woman who knows her value, her worth. She respects the guy she's with. This is her mom. Her mom and Angel were both in Berlin. And I've wanted to say this for some time. Angel Reese, I'm so proud of you. Because sometimes like when women get in relationships, it depends on the person, right? But you could kind of see like she's herself, but she respects her man and her relationship. Like she respects the love that he provides her and that they share. And I like that. That's a woman. That's not a young girl. That's a woman. So these two, I think, and with mama sitting over there in Berlin, this is my first time seeing the mama. Since they've been dating. With the mama sitting there, I'm telling you, these two are going to end up getting married. Angel Reese is a woman. She came out of college as a young lady, a young girl. She's a woman. And she's in a healthy relationship. And you can see it in the way that she moves. So there's a message out there, too, for a lot of people, right? When you find somebody that loves you, it shows. You end up glowing. And you move a certain way. And you protect that, right? So shout out to Angel Reese. Her mom, they were at the NBA Berlin game between the Memphis Grizzlies and Orlando Magic. Now, why is this happening? Because the NBA in 2027 is starting an international league with FIBA. They'll have 16 teams, and there'll be 4 teams that rotate, 4 rotational teams. So about 20 teams in all, but 16 permanent teams. So this is why the games are hosted over there, because there's a new league coming from the NBA on the international level in 2027. So if y'all basketball fans, shout out to y'all if you travel internationally with, with basketball. Y'all gonna have somewhere to go. Kind of like with football, how they're taking college games overseas, they're taking NFL games overseas. Now we have an entirely league, international league popping up for the NBA. So a lot of things are happening to expand globally. Let's just hope they respect the people on this side of the pond. All right. So that's that on Angel Reese. I wanted to share that. All right, back to what we be talking about. Back to season. All right, I have somebody who y'all probably think I wouldn't be talking about, but I'm going to share it.
Like when you go into the store, it's just so bad. That's why.
Stop acting like that. That's not true. None of this
This is Shiloh and Miss Pilar.
thing is true.
Yeah, every guy whose mom used to go shopping could comment right now and agree. Shopping with your mom, going to the grocery store, is the worst experience in the world.
That is true.
Fellas, do y'all really feel like that? Shopping as a young man, boy, however you want to say it, a kid, teenager, whatever, shopping with your mom. Was it like the worst experience? I understand they say a lot of guys don't like to go shopping, but a lot do. So maybe it's more of that personality type. But fellas, this is for y'all. Because according to Shiloh, he's not the only one that didn't, as a young man, didn't want to go shopping with his mom. Let me know in the comments.
Because all you guys loved it because you got everything you want.
And why do moms always say no when you want stuff from the grocery
I thought it was
store?
at CVS. I did.
That's
Because
the-
it looked like the stuff was locked up. I was like, what am I looking at? But apparently this is like a
I hate when
Sephora.
you took me to stores when I was younger. You know what? Since you've been a good mom, you can get definitely
Yeah, that's
whatever
Sephora.
you
I
want.
can see
But
it
if you
now.
take long, then
Okay.
it goes down and down.
Yeah, I thought it was CVS.
The limit.
Shame on me.
Are you serious?
Yeah, if you take long, yeah. You gotta hurry up.
Oh my god. You need a new blow dryer.
Oh, that's almost 200 right there. I'm sorry.
He's almost 200.
But you said anything.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Are you a happy mom today?
So that's them. That's Miss
So
Pilar
happy.
and her baby.
I just said she get.
No, who's the youngest? Is Shedeur the youngest? No, Bossy's the youngest, but Shedeur's the youngest son. Okay, so Shiloh's the oldest. Shiloh is her oldest. Okay. I noticed Shiloh and his mom are always together. I noticed that. Like, they got a video from when they were in Colorado. It's like over 1 million views, like way back then, before he even started doing content. So they make good content together, right? So hopefully we get to see more of Shiloh and Miss Pilar. Now I know y'all gonna say it's not his off season. It's just off season. It's just off season. I don't think he's totally abandoned his effort to I don't know, play professional ball. So we might see him work out. So it's off season for him as far as I'm concerned. And yes, I would like to see more footage of Shiloh. I saw videos with him and DeAndrea and Snow, and they went to a bowling alley. And then when they were like on the boardwalk or whatever you call that in Miami, that was a good video. If y'all haven't watched that one, go watch that one. It was Snow was in his stroller and he wanted to get out and walk. It was cute. It was cute video. So I guess we'll be seeing the family in the off season visiting Shiloh in Miami. All right, so that was Miss Pilar. Y'all know I'm a fan. I like both of their parents, Coach Prime and Miss Pilar. And I guess Coach Prime's off season is over with now because, you know, they got to do all the recruiting and get all the players together. So this is Shiloh's off season. Do y'all think Shiloh is like, his thought process is he's not interested in Canada? Like, if it's not going to be the NFL, he'll give it a couple of years. And maybe if that doesn't happen, he'll just let it go. Let me know your thoughts. I'm curious. I kind of get that feeling because he could have already entertained Canada. Y'all know Chidozie got picked up and signed in Canada too. And the fact that Shiloh didn't go down that road, I think he's still kind of holding out for the NFL. So he might give it a year or two. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. Not that he need to. I'm just saying from a perspective of that seemed like what he want to do. All right. So if you're just not joining us, we are just doing an off-season tour, seeing where everybody is, checking in with them to see what's going on. Now, Mr. Travis Hunter is in Hawaii, was flown to Hawaii, unless he was on vacation and they ran into him and said, hey, can you come over here and talk to the teams, motivate them that are playing in the Polynesian Bowl? So they were having a team meeting and enter Mr. Travis Hunter. So here comes Travis. I think his music playing, so I can't play it. But I wanted y'all to know they were screaming like crazy when they saw this young man, and everybody was taking a picture. You see it, you see it, you see it. So you can imagine what it sounds like in there. So these are the teams that are playing in the Polynesian Bowl, and they brought Travis Hunter in to Hawaii. So him and the family must be on vacation over there. To be like a motivational speaker at the Polynesian Bowl in Hawaii. Travis Hunter. People were talking about how skinny he is. I'm like, y'all have to remember, Travis has been down he was out for how long? A long time. He finally just started walking again recently. So, he going to have to get into his off-season routine when his doctor says he can put pressure on that knee. Don't forget that injury totally ripped apart the ligaments that hold your knee together and that control your ability to pivot left and right. So, and that's not easy to break. So you want to be careful with that. So let's just give him some grace. So shout out to Travis Hunter. So that's what he's doing in the off season. We'll be seeing endorsements from Travis. We'll, be seeing this type of thing where people bring him in to speak. I think he went to 7, is it the OT7? Or it's either Cam Newton's 7-on-7, which his brother's going into his senior season. So Cam is doing really good with those kids. Was it C1N, the Cam Newton 7-on-7? Remember, I went last year and it was like 2.5 hours from Atlanta and called myself recording and interviewing people. Yep. And I might go back this year. Because they were like in Auburn, Alabama. Is that where I went to? Auburn, Alabama. So I think Travis walked in over there too, possibly. I think he went there too because his brother, I think he went to see his brother and everybody just went crazy. So whenever Travis walks into the room, people just go crazy. They just go crazy. And these kids, they love Travis. And you know what? After Travis, got a lot of love over the last couple of days because of people see now, what was transpiring with Jordan Seaton, rather than stand down. People are saying it. Travis is a real one. Travis is a real one. He didn't have to stay. He didn't even have to go to Jackson State. I mean, he didn't do it for anybody else. Don't get me wrong. It was a business decision for Travis to go to Jackson State because of Coach Pride. And Travis was smart enough to know his worth, meaning I'm going first in the league. I could go first from over here. Why the hell would I go somewhere else? And why would I leave the best ever to do it? Right? So he was smart about it. And people respect him more because he's loyal. Right? He's loyal. So shout out to Travis. So if you're just not joining us, Travis is in Hawaii, brought in as a motivational speaker to the Polynesian Bowl players. And those kids love Travis. All right. How many I got left? I got one left. Y'all know who the one is. Not a very long clip, but it's okay. Shout out to Don Simber who sent this to me. Our fave, 12, is hanging out with a pro buff. And I love seeing them together. So let me just play the clip and we'll talk about it. Now, this one we can hear.
What's up, bro? I'm putting on pomade, just don't need no handout.
So, I don't know where that came from, but I think I snagged it in there.
Let's go to the center.
So, okay, this is Zay Weaver and Shedeur. Now, as far as I know, this is supposed to be recent. I don't care if it's from last year, because I was actually looking for content from last year, because I like to take a look back. So you're going to see me doing that in the off season, because it's a lot that has transpired. So I'm going to take a look back. And supposedly they're hanging out and going shopping in California. So y'all know Zay Weaver is. Now y'all do know that there was a trade conversation happening, right? Kyler Murray for Shedeur Sanders. They would swap teams. Kyler Murray would go to Cleveland and Shedeur would go to Arizona. Now they would make him a QB2 behind Jacoby Brissett until the new coach comes in, because Arizona's coach got fired and they probably gonna want to get somebody else. So it's just a way to move Kyler Murray from a 1 to a 2. And I don't know. And make Shedeur can stay over there and compete with him. but there was a conversation happening, and I didn't like it because I knew what they were doing when they were like Kyler Murray, trade conversation about Kyler Murray to Cleveland and Shedeur to Arizona. I'm like, nope, because you're gonna send Shedeur as a 2 before he proves himself. This is before he played, and you're going to devalue and retaliate against Kyler Murray because he was a part of the grievance with Lamar Jackson, who we watched you collude against, and Russell Wilson, who we watched you collude against. So I knew to play. If Cleveland is involved, it's to shut them down. That's just what it is. Right? So stay tuned. I haven't seen Shedeur hang out with Zay in a minute. Right? And this is supposed to be California. And as far as I know, the Rams are playing in Chicago. And I don't think the Chargers are in it. Maybe the 49ers are playing and they going to that. So, Arizona and California, they're right there together. So I don't know what made them get together. There's a whole lot of people out there. But people saw this and got excited because they feel like, oh, maybe we could get the band back together and Zay could go to Cleveland. I'm like, Shedeur got a better chance of going to Arizona. Because I just don't see the Browns doing right. They haven't done right in how many years, so they ain't gonna start now. That's just how I see it. So people like this clip. And
We can slide, bro.
We're trying to be cool.
You thought you trying to be cool, bro. Damn, bro. I just can't vibe, bro.
so he told me I can't just vibe, bro. So people was like, leave him alone, let it vibe, looking at his phone and stuff like that. That's Bucky. So Bucky, Shedeur, Zay Weaver. Now, Shedeur announced, I didn't get to put it on the screen, but let's see if I still have it. Shedeur started a new TikTok. I think it's called Too Legendary. Let me see if I can find it. Too Legendary. Is this it? No. Too Legendary. He said, follow me on TikTok for all of my off-season workouts. So he's starting a TikTok page for his off-season workouts. And I think it's Too Legendary, the same as the one on, how he has that new page on IG. So there's Shedeur Sanders, and then there's like Too Legendary _. And that's new on IG. And he just started posting from there. And from there, he posted the TikTok. And so you got to find him on TikTok. If I find it, I'll post it. I thought I saved it. So yeah, he'll have a new page on TikTok to show all of his workouts. So y'all just gotta check that out. I'm trying to see if I had it saved. I screenshot everything. I have the pictures when he did like the modeling session, and I thought I got that from there. But I guess I missed the one where he said follow me because he has a new workout page. Yeah. Excuse me. So this is the last one. So that's the last one. Bucky's with them. They're going shopping apparently. Again, I didn't think this was recent, but apparently it was. So because Shedeur took his hair down. And Bucky was with him. So I don't know. Unless people just got it wrong. But I thought it was nice.
Weak ass shoes.
They is, bro. I'm just doing anything right now.
Weak ass socks.
I got on anything, bro. Come on, let's go shopping. Let's go to the center.
Zay is in another world.
We can slide, bro.
We're trying to be cool.
You thought you trying to be cool, bro. Damn, bro. I just can't vibe, bro.
Zay trying to vibe. All right, so if this is recent, because that's what it was told to me, it was recent. If this is recent, then Shedeur is hanging out with Zay Weaver. Nice to see. But I thought I remember that from last year, though. They was all together somewhere, but whatever. So possibly, Shedeur hanging out with Zay. But I wanted to say Shedeur got a new TikTok. If you on TikTok, look for like Too Legendary _ something like that. But go to his Shedeur Sanders page or his Too Legendary page on IG and follow it from there so I don't give out the wrong information. And it's to follow all his off-season workouts. If you're not on TikTok, don't worry. I am, and I'll be bringing it to you. Actually looking for the older footage from last year when he was visiting the different schools and working out, because I still have all of that. So like I said, we'll be taking a look back, right? As we go through this offseason, if any breaking news happen, I'm sure I'll let you know, but it's nothing. It's just nothing. Everybody's just gone. So that's what we are on the off-season workouts. All right. So I'm getting ready to hop into the portal. So if you want to be here while we hop into the portal, I'm just going to tell you who's in there that committed to Colorado, and then we're going to wrap it up for tonight. If you're just not joining us, please start over from the beginning and watch the replay. I dropped some news about Jordan Seaton and his plane touching down in Mississippi, which was totally unexpected. People don't know if he trolling or if he got played by Texas, who signed a left tackle this morning. So I don't know. So let me go hop into the portal, and then I'm gonna head over to the comments. Let's see. What I liked about CU's class is it looked balanced, right? But see, CU doesn't have, in my opinion, any issues getting players, right? Why? Because Coach Prime is one of the most powerful coaches in college football, despite people trying to take it down, right? He still manages to have sold out seasons to get really good players, right? And as I pointed out, when you look at the schools, and I learned that only 5 schools had 1 5-star player each. So there was only 5 stars out there. And they went to like LSU, Texas, like that, right? So it's not like we missed out on 300 5-stars, 100 5-stars. It's not even 20, it's not even 10 5-stars, right? Now there's 5 stars in the portal, and we had Jordan Seaton, but he bounced, and that's cool. Right? We're not worried about that. I just brought you the latest information, but I really don't care about it. I just want you to let y'all know what y'all nephew had going on, because that's y'all nephew now. Because I don't follow them. I'm not to be rude, but hey, people have this thought process that Buff fans should be quiet when players leave. Okay, if like Draylon left, we wish him well. Omarion left, it broke my heart, but hey, I wish him well. I ain't wish him no harm. I didn't think any of them did anything underhanded. But Jordan Seaton, I don't know what the hell he got going on. I'm like, and it's clear it's starting to come out. What does Vermont say? What's done in the wash comes out in the rinse. And he not lying. Because look at what happened today. So people are like, I said it, not people. I'm people. Either he got played or he trolling. And somebody else said maybe people were turned off by the way he did CU. Now, you would think they don't care, right? But I'm sure he got a visit with Oregon. I would imagine still intact or going to schedule one, because you hopped because of Texas and Oregon, and Texas got somebody else, and you at Mississippi State. So I think fans have the right to say, damn, he did the school dirty, because it is dirty. It's called accountability. You don't have to be rude. I think it's wrong to tell fans just to shut up. No, absolutely not. Not when you are misusing the school or you are misrepresenting your intentions. You didn't play the last 3 games. You were singing about Texas back then. So you knew you were going to bounce, and you didn't even play to protect Juju, who you sat next to on the plane to recruit him. So no, you don't have to be quiet, but you don't have to be rude. If you feel like, man, that was kind of snakish, it's okay to say that. How else is he going to learn? How else is he going to learn that his behavior is not okay? So we'll have to just see what happens, but I'm not watching it, but I will tell you what I find out. Excuse me. So anyway, I'm over here in a portal, and okay, today TJ Branch got picked up. So TJ Branch, I was really looking forward to him. I truly was. I was looking forward to TJ Branch, but he bounced and he got picked up by UCF. I wish him well. He's a 3-star. As far as I know, he didn't do nothing wrong. He just decided to leave. Maybe he didn't get enough playing time. And he's well within his right to leave, as is every player, but it's how you do it. I dropped a short about that yesterday. And then Simeon Price, that surprised me. Isn't that Track Hawk? Is that the Track Hawk guy? He hopped into the portal on the 14th, which was yesterday. And then Jaden Hardy, we acquired him from OU. So he committed to us. He was a 3-star. And Demetrius Hunter, he committed to Colorado. He is a interior offensive lineman from U of H. And another guy from U of H hopped into the portal today. So we're going to see what happens with that. DeAndre Moore, I have heard about him. I'm excited to see I saw his highlights. I'm excited to see what happens there. He's a wide receiver, right? 6 feet and 192 pounds. He committed to us from Texas. And then Corday Smith. Now Corday Smith came in last year as a 4-star, but leaving as a 3-star. The offensive tackle. He came over with Juju. Both of them came from USC. That's why people thought Juju was going to be leaving. He went to Memphis. Again, second player to go to Memphis, Terrell Timmons. And now Corday Smith. Do not forget, the director of recruiting from Colorado is now the general manager of the football program at Memphis. So I'll be kind of keeping an eye on Memphis to see how they do. And they got that coach that I told y'all about from Marshall from the year before. I think he went to University of Southern Miss for a year and got hired as a head coach at Memphis. So shout out to them. I'll be cheering for them at a distance. Not saying you're going to see me at a Memphis game unless they come to Atlanta. So other than that, we got Jordan Seaton. Y'all know the story there. 5-star offensive tackle, 6'5", 330 pounds, entered the portal on the 12th. Then we got Bo Hughley, who committed to us from Georgia. I'm interested to see what goes on there. He's 6'7", 295 pounds, and he's an offensive tackle. He's a 3-star, so he's .87. That's his score overall. So I want to see what happens with that. Then we got Draylon Miller. Y'all know he committed to Baylor. I kind of want to see what's going on with Draylon. I wish him well. Tyler Brown committed to James Madison, so they do really well every single year. So shout out to Tyler Brown. I didn't even know he had eligibility left. And then we have Emory Floyd. So he came from Arizona, cornerback. We've been getting a lot of the secondary players. I guess it's now time to turn our attention to the offensive line. Randon Fontenette, we got him from Vanderbilt. He's a safety. And then Cedric Smith, defensive lineman, came over from Marquette, I think, somewhere. But he committed to us. And then remember, I didn't see this guy that much. Gavril Lightfoot. I don't know when he came in, but he left and he's committed to a school. I don't know the logo, but he's gone. He's a 3-star. And Dallin Hayden committed to Memphis. So is he one of the ones that went to Memphis? Yeah. So we got 3 that went to Memphis. Wow. Okay. That's good. And then Tion Parks, he's at TCU. For whatever reason, TCU is ranked bottom of the Big 12 for recruits. I don't know what happened to this class, but they dead last. At least it's not us. In the Big 12, Colorado is ranked 4th out of 16. That's really good. Isaiah Harge, he's still in the portal. Now, I thought he had a lot of offers, so I'm shocked that he's still in the portal. Now, let me explain something. The portal tomorrow, the entry part, people hopping in, closes tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. So people can still bounce for another whole 24 hours, right? Now, once you're in there, you can just stay in there. And that's the crazy part. You're gambling because if they don't get you out and they start their season and they haven't come and got you, you're already giving away your scholarship when you hop in. Now, some of these players I heard can go back to their original school. So people were thinking Jordan Seaton was coming back to CU. Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, maybe I don't know. But players can come back. So, I don't know how these schools feel. Remember when Isaiah Augustave, remember he hopped in the portal? And supposedly a school had, somebody said, $500,000 for him, and people thought it was good because he had a kid. And we were like, oh, okay. But we were like, that's crazy because you was going to start over here, right? But he left. And we talked about this, was it yesterday or the day before? And when he got there, it wasn't what they said. So he got back in the portal, but he didn't come back to see you because I guess maybe he didn't want to or they didn't ask him back. And he ended up going to South Carolina, and we looked up his stats. He had 2 carries all last year. That's it. And it only showed 2 games. And in the second game, he had 0 carries. So I don't know what the hell happened. So, there's a lot of conversation happening. There's a group called like Football Moms or something like that. They talk about how the schools are kicking kids into the portal. Like they'll tell them, all right, your time is up. You haven't done anything. We need that scholarship back. And they force them into the portal. So they're saying like 3,000 kids in the portal. They're like, y'all don't know, but a lot of those kids got booted out. And I'm like, wow, because I thought everybody in the portal, it was voluntary. So I'm probably going to talk about that. I might try to interview the lady who talks about it. I don't know, but I'll see. I just kind of want to understand what's happening and maybe kind of bring some awareness that everybody in the portal isn't there because they wanted to leave. They said the stigma is that these kids are greedy when actually these schools are kicking them out. Now that's kind of crazy, right? So I don't know if that happened at CU, but apparently it happens. And I would imagine if Coach Prime did that to somebody would tell us. So, I guess if you don't do good though, if you don't do nothing, maybe they could take your scholarship back. Because I heard they have exit meetings every year. So maybe at the exit meeting, they look at it, they like, look, you're not getting no better. You just loafing on the scholarship. We're going to take this from you. And then you got to go home or you got to figure out how to pay for your school yourself. So a lot of that is why a lot of thousands of people are in the portal. So that's a new scenario for me to kind of explore. But getting tricked out your spot. Now that's a popular one. Everybody from Colorado that was in year one and hopped into the portal afterwards, and a lot of them got tricked out their spot last year. And Isaiah Agostavi, unfortunately, he seemed like he got tricked out of his spot, right? So for the ones that stayed down through the tough times that they get booted out and they hopped into the portal this year and they found somewhere to go like Tyler Brown, shout out to them. Shout out to them. But for the ones that did some underhanded things, karma gonna come for you. And this is where you learn. First of all, don't burn no bridges. See, burning bridges, you're going to learn about burning bridges when you're young. If you burn bridges when you're young, you're going to run right back into them people. You might need them. Any coach from any of these programs could end up at the next level if that's where you're trying to go. And you're going to run right into them or somebody they know or somebody they're related to. And from what I can tell from the NFL, they nasty with it. They just seem nasty with it. And look how they treated Shedeur because so-and-so don't like this person. Oh, we didn't like his dad. So I don't know. This is not the environment for that because they seem to have long memories. They seem very retaliatory and they just nasty with it. And maybe like somebody said on X, people saw how he did CU and they changed their mind because Texas did say they was all in on him 24 hours ago. And when I saw they signed that other dude, I was like, that's crazy. And they said Seaton wanted $3 million and the other guy got signed for $300,000. So I thought it was the money. So I don't know what the hell is happening. So, getting tricked out your spot. It's going to always be a thing when you go to CU because it's really more. It's not even about the player. Like with Travis, when they offered him 1.5, it wasn't about Travis. I mean, sure, they would like to have it, but they didn't care where he went to school. They didn't care about his education. They didn't care about his development. They just wanted him gone from Coach Prime's program. And I thought that that's what we was seeing with Jordan Seaton. And I remember people coming back telling me, no, he not going. He not gone. He lied. I'm like, okay, this is turning into a mess. And then when you add that he lied or he pretended or I don't know, he was trying to fleece the school out of money. I don't know what the hell it was. You add that on to today and it's a circus. It has turned into a circus. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen, but, Coach Prime said, don't listen to a fool. Sound like maybe he was listening to a fool. I don't know. And, the way, and maybe that's why he felt like he could just kind of burn bridges with Coach Prime and them because maybe somebody was in his ear, but that is a lesson to learn. That's a lesson to learn too. Don't let people tell you about nobody. You better go learn for yourself because they could be lying to you. And a lot of people want to take down Coach Prime's program, power and influence. Power and influence. And if I'm not mistaken, Jordan Seaton was one of the players that was on that Taco Bell box, right? Wasn't it like Jordan Seaton, Juju, and two other people, I think. So, Coach Prime always finds some way to be creative to get them endorsements and stuff like that. So I'm shocked by the current events, but it is now reached circus level. Who knows what the hell what it's going to be tomorrow. So stay tuned. All right. So CU in the Big 12 is 4 4th. That's good enough for me. We had the 4th most 4-star players to sign. That's good enough for me in college football. That's good enough for me. I don't care who went to Texas and LSU because we don't play them. Terrell Timmons went to Memphis. He in here too. So I got quite a few people from Memphis. Shout out to them. Christian Hudson left CU and went to a school. I don't know the logo. Boo Carter. That's who I want to see. That's who I want to see. Committed from Texas. I want to see in the draft how Colton Hood does. I heard he's supposed to be a late first round. Then we have Fisher Clements. We got him from, I don't know what school he came from, but he at Colorado. He is a tight end. And then Carter Stoudemire, he left. He's still in the portal. He's a 3-star. And then Ezra Christensen, he's a 3-star coming into CU, defensive lineman. So as of late, we had secured quite a few secondary players, but they're doing pretty good, in my opinion, right? They lost, but they also gained more than they lost, and that's what matters. And we're 4th in the Big 12, right? We're not like TCU. Their portal class is dead last, so we're not that. We're not that, and I'm excited about the season. The first game is Georgia Tech, and it's right here in Atlanta. So maybe we can all get together and go. So let's talk about that as we get closer and closer and closer. I'm going to check to see when the tickets go on sale. They might already be on sale. Georgia Tech, they like the money. So they might already be on sale. And then we could talk about maybe making that one of our community events where we get together and go to the game here in Atlanta. All right. So let me hop in the portal and see what y'all thinking about everything that I have talked about. All right. Shout out to Don Simba. Thank you for the video. It said, I went ahead and clicked the like button on here. Have a good one. Thank you so much. And thank you for the clip. It said the flyest show on the planet. Thank you. Hey, Tina, welcome back. We missed you yesterday. Hey, Miss Pamela, how you doing? Like, hype, and subscribe. That's right. Please hype me up. Y'all been doing a good job. Please hype me up. It said, thank you for the information. You're welcome. Anna said, hey, Miss Nola. Hey, how you doing? Into the audience. All right, Anna, say hi. Y'all make sure y'all say hi back. It said, word on the YouTube street, Jordan Seaton isn't in the portal. Okay, I just, he in there. Why people keep saying he's not in the portal? I'm looking at it. He in the portal. He's the 4th ranked player in the portal, which means he's really good. And they feel like he's really good. I just thought it was strange he hadn't been scooped up yet. So I don't know what the hell is happening. But people are starting to wonder if he faked all of that interest for these other schools to go to Mississippi State to be with Loho, and he didn't want Coach Prime to know. I want y'all to know something. There are things that be happening behind these scenes, and we don't have no idea until like way down the line. Like the whole football thing, how everybody wanted Caden to play, didn't want Caden to play, and they was happy when Steve got in, but he bombed, and now he's the hottest backup on the streets, in the portal or wherever. Members only live stream tomorrow at 6:00. Because in the comment section, people started telling it. And I don't know if I don't know what happened. When Jordan Seaton hopped in the portal, it just unleashed some stuff. And people was talking about it in some comment sections. And I was like, whoa, wait, what? So I ain't saying it in this space. I'll see y'all tomorrow at 6:00. It's a lot happening. And now it's starting to make sense when you hear Coach Prime talking about don't be listening to a fool, and now he at Mississippi State, and then there's Lode Holt over there, and that didn't go well. I could tell he was gonna be gone. Something has transpired. I don't know, but we're gonna talk about it tomorrow. And if you know something, feel free to share it. But I'm gonna be sharing what I found out because it's starting to all make sense now. Good evening. How you doing? And welcome back, Mama Tia. It said, grand evening, what she said. Did you see the new sneakers that Coach Prime dropped yesterday? Yes. I didn't know if I could share the video. I talked about it because I knew it was something from Nike, but I didn't want to get copyrighted. So since Big Snacks dropped it, y'all know we cool with Big Snacks and his group over there. Go check out the video, BIGSNACKKS. I was telling y'all about the shoes that they dropped and how nice they were. I've been talking to them about people off when I'm not live because they're really nice. And it's legendary. And I like how they put them on the shoes and stuff. People gonna get jealous with Shedeur over that kind of stuff. But hey, it is what it is, right? So maybe when they went shopping, I guess there were prototypes. That's what I got. So I'm gonna have to go watch the video for Big Snacks myself. So y'all go and check it out. I didn't know the video was copyrighted or the photos was copyrighted because it was some kind of unreleased stuff. So that's why I didn't post it. I just told y'all about it. So thank y'all for sharing it with the community. We like Big Snacks around here, so y'all go check it out. Hey, Isaiah, how you doing? How you doing? Hey, Crowley, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. All right, if you just heard me, first game for Colorado is in Atlanta, Georgia Tech. If y'all want to go, email me, and maybe we could put together some group, and we can get tickets in the same area and sit together and cheer on the squad for the first game and make a whole big deal out of it. Everybody, 80% of the United States population lives 2 hours from Atlanta. So that means a lot of people can show. That's why, it's good. So email me at whatshesaid404@gmail.com. I might remember to put something in the banner that says interested in going to the Georgia Tech game as a group, and we can maybe kind of put something together. I think that'll be fun. All right. It said, Ramon, there's so much going on. I don't know what to believe. No, he in the portal. It said, with $100 million over 5 years, John Harbaugh is smiling. Will he bring Orr and his other staff with him to the New York Giants? Well, what I heard, since y'all want to talk about it, what I heard is he wants to bring Munkin with him. And I don't know how people fail and get rewarded like that, because Mike Tomlin got pushed out and Harbaugh failed up and can demand what he wants and bring Munkin with him. And to be honest with you, I'm just gonna tell you, it looks like Stefanski was being rewarded with these interviews for these head coaching jobs. It looks like Harbaugh has been rewarded. And it's crazy because when Lamar Jackson got drafted, and y'all know how ugly the NFL did him. Y'all know, right? And y'all know my philosophy. I like last year, Lamar, if you need to ask yourself if these people want to win a Super Bowl with you. But I'm pretty sure the answer is no. And you saw what happened this year. And Lamar has been vindicated. Like, let's just be honest. This ain't on Lamar. Just like Shedeur was vindicated, Lamar was vindicated. And Stefanski, was more about trying to run off Shedeur and Harbaugh, in my opinion. When you look at his record, was more about suppressing Lamar. When you look at his record, which is why somebody put it together. Let me see if I still have it. You can see that. So I feel like Harbaugh got rewarded for holding Lamar back, because if he failed and got fired, why is he getting another job? It's the same thing with Stefanski. And remember, at first they wanted to swap Stefanski and Harbaugh. Now I knew the Browns weren't getting Harbaugh, because the Browns not trying to do nothing for real at all. They just want to put a bridge in place until they let the Mannings come on in and do whatever they want to do to get the Manning kid. I already know that. And I could tell by the people that they interviewed, right? So I'm not a Harbaugh fan. I'm not a Harbaugh fan because I'm a Lamar Jackson fan. And I saw the way Lamar Jackson curbed Harbaugh. And because I watched Shedeur all year and I watched Stefanski abuse him and Stefanski get fired and fail up, it's the same thing. If these coaches seemingly agree to hold back these black quarterbacks, they fail up. The team loses, and that's the expectation, because Shedeur doesn't get to the playoffs. Lamar doesn't get further in the playoffs. And I don't like that. And that's what it looks like. That from the outside looking in, Stefanski's job was to try to run off Shedeur or make sure he didn't win nothing, like get to the playoffs, because he had to play a few number of games. And they let him play more games. And all Stefanski did with the games that he played is what? Set him up to fail. So I'm not a Harbaugh fan. I'm not celebrating that. And I honestly wonder what the hell these damn fans are celebrating, because if you know how he treated Lamar and held back Lamar and Baltimore, what the hell are you cheering for him to what? Finally be coaching a white quarterback so he don't have to set up a black one? I'm not cool with that, bro. I'm not cool with that at all. It looks like they being paid to sabotage the careers of these black quarterbacks that they don't like. And why they don't like them. Lamar has not done anything to anybody, and neither has Shedeur. They are elite. And that's their crime. You're supposed to be a professional football league. So I'm not with that. I'm not with that at all. So to hell with him. Next, let's see. I heard LSU. Yeah, I think I heard that one too. We'll see if he gets a visit there. It said word to the wise, Seaton, all that glitters ain't gold. That's facts. All money ain't good money. And people are wondering, was that ever really a real situation? I don't know. I don't know what the hell happened. I thought he had agents. If he had agents, he wouldn't be moving around like that. It said, think Jordan Sleeton on some slick stuff. Right. Maybe y'all think he was trying to fleece the program? Like, I'm gonna leave and all these schools want to pay me $2.5 million. And they're like, no, we don't. No, we don't. Mississippi State don't either. And you know Mississippi State ain't giving out no money like that. Some people say it's too late. They say all the money gone. I'm like, well, Oregon did give Dante $7.5 million. Shout out to Dante Moore. Dante Moore decided to go back to school and know his worth. And guess what? He got paid $7.5 million for one season. One. And maybe they're gonna pay Jordan Seaton $3 million to protect him. People say all the money gone is late. That's just what they're saying. I don't know. It's still one other person in the portal. The other, I think, is if Jordan Seaton is number 4, top 4 in the ranked in the portal, the first 2 are gone. And I think it might be Jordan Seaton and another guy. I don't know. Then again, he might be the only one of the top 4 still out there. Because I'm not sure how this is happening here. But to hell with it. Shout out to Dante Moore, though. Shout out to Dante Moore. Because I was like, I wanted him to go back to school. He went back to school. Then I was like, you need to go hop in the portal. But you know what? Maybe he was going to, and Oregon said, let me write that check. What would I explain this to somebody in the comments? What would happen if Dante Moore hopped into the portal and got the same money from another school, ran it back, and got to the Natty and won? What would happen? People would know Dan Lanning is a fraud. That's what they would know. So Oregon like, hey, let's keep him here. Yeah. How many chips does Oregon have since Dan Lanning been there? They got money. That's what they got. They got money. Outside of that, they ain't got much else. Because look, they produced Dylan. And then people talking about Dante Moore mediocre. I said Dante Moore is not mediocre. Oregon is mediocre. Oregon tries to be what the NFL wants. Turn these quarterbacks into check downs. Yeah. When you look at Dylan before he got to Oregon and look at how he played ball in his yards and running and throwing, they suppressed him when he got there. And then Dante Moore, I was looking at his yards. Dylan had, no, not Dylan, like Mendoza. Mendoza had under 3,000 yards in the regular season. He had under 2,900 yards in the regular season. They trying to produce these check down kings. Yeah, Dante Moore don't want to be no check down king. And people talking about he should fire his agent because he could have made $50 million in the NFL. I said Dante Moore was not going first, and he knew it. They talking about, well, he was going to get drafted by the Jets. I'm like, yup, like Shedeur was going to get drafted by the Giants or the Browns. I said, what about Quinn Ewers? Same thing. They got devalued. Ty Simpson was offered $6.5 million to go back to school. He decided he want to go to the draft. Quinn Ewers got the same offer. He decided he want to go to the draft too. He was the 13th quarterback taken off the board. Now, I don't know what they're going to do with Ty Simpson, but they don't talk about Carson Beck. All they talk about is Mendoza. And when I looked up the top 10 quarterbacks coming out of college, because so many of them went back, it's only Trinidad because the NFL, the NCAA booted him out. Thomas Castellanos, because I don't know who advising him. They already got Trinidad as a day 2 person. And the kid who went to Arkansas. Everybody else is white because black kids went back to school because they learned. They ain't stupid. They saw what happened in the regular season. They see what happened to Lamar. They see what's happening to Jalen Hurts. They see what's happening to Bryce Young. These kids are not dumb. Just because you think they dumb, don't mean they dumb. So they went back to school. And now you better get that bag and exhaust it. They already devaluing Jeremiah, primetime JJ from Ohio State, got him 3rd coming out. Got Archie Manning in front of him. What the hell did he do? And some kid named CJ Carr, and I don't even know who that is, other than is he related to Derek and David Carr? Because who the hell is that? So they just put these kids where they want them despite their talents. And these quarterbacks like, nah. And I respect it. $7.5 million. Now, if they bench him, well, okay, that $7.5 million gonna make it hurt less. And then he not going into the league because they gonna devalue him. He not going into the league, bro. He not going into the league needy. Hell, I might take it or leave it. We'll see. We shall see. But I'm proud of these players because y'all know this is what I was advocating for. So, and I wish they had booted out Trinidad because I wanted him to go back. But I told y'all, I said, they're going to boot him out because they know the competition is stacked next year. That's why they already pushing the narrative that the Manning kid is the likely to win the Heisman. I'm like, not with the people I see leaving UT. I'm like, they keep leaving. We'll see. See, because over there, them kids done figured out. If you want any shine, you ain't going to get it with him because they act like they don't see nobody else. You know who did that? Georgia Tech. They had Haynes King, and they forgot about Jamal King, the running back. And they, since they were trying to prop up Haynes King, they kind of like pushed Jamal King to the side. But when the season started in the offseason, because I'm right here in Atlanta, I know it was all about the Haynes brothers. Then they forgot about Jamal Haynes. I was like, when they get one of them quarterbacks they get fixated on, running backs get done dirty. Pay attention to Mendoza if he's first up there with Ashton Jeanty. Just pay attention. Yep, pay attention. Ashton Jeanty is up for Rookie of the Year. Miami. Oh, okay, y'all saying y'all rolling with Miami. Okay, I asked people who they rolling with in the Natty. They said Miami. Me too. Yep, me too. It said them Hurricanes bringing smoke out the tunnel. Yep, they trying to get primetime JJ over there. They trying to get him to Miami. Apparently, he's from Florida, so they trying to get him to come home, but I don't think he's gonna leave. Thank you, Ramon. It said no black QBs, no support. I know that's right, Robin, because I'm telling y'all, I'm not watching it. I'm not watching it because I have watched all season how they work to kick them out. No. Not doing it. I'm boycotting. It said maybe Coach Prime wanted Seaton to stay till they got their recruits in. No, that's on Seaton. The Bears. Okay. Jordan say going with the Bears. Yeah, I'm rolling with Caleb and CJ Stroud. Jimmy will be fine. I hope so, Ramon. I hope so. But he seemed like he pretty sad. I am with Nola Girl, boycotting the NFL. Yeah. I'm like, After the Natty, if I'm telling y'all, if Caleb and CJ get done dirty, I'm gone. I'm out. Because I think that's what they're gonna do. Because that's what they plan to do. Why would you pay Caleb's backup $10 million? You didn't intend for him to get this far. Or you did to knock Green Bay out. Jordan Love. Remember when the season started? They was like, yeah, Green Bay going to the Super Bowl. I'm like, how you know that? And then Green Bay ends up in a tie game with the Cowboys. And I said, now watch that come back to bite them. And Chicago actually had a better record than Green Bay because of the tie. And then they came to play the Browns. And remember, the game was almost over. And then this touchdown just happened out the blue. The defense decided to do something, I guess. I don't know. And the Browns won that game. I said, yep, they cheated them right there. You can just see it. They do the same. Look, let me tell you something about these people. They got the same dusty playbook. They use it everywhere over and over and over and over. And it's so obvious. If you have watched Shedeur as closely as we have for a whole season, watch the games. Watch the moves that they make. You can just see the play. You see what's happening. Right? So, yeah, I'm boycotting. If that's what they do, I'm boycotting. The Panthers also slick stuff. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, if y'all go watch that last game, I'm telling you, I think they set Jimmy up. Let me tell you why. They undervalued him. People talked about that all season. All season. So that's like putting somebody out there who, I don't know who Jimmy practiced with. Because at one point, he was third on the depth chart. Then I looked when they got to the playoffs, and he was second behind Tet. And I was like, that ain't good. Because they blocking him if he behind Tet. He should be wide receiver 3 if Tet is wide receiver 1. And everybody knows he's that good. So it's like they keep trying to box him in a little bit, right? So they get to this game, and first the ball was overthrown to Jimmy. It wasn't nothing he could do with the ball to the left. Then to the right, he actually touched it, but it was low. And he had to bend down, and people like, no excuses. I'm like, I don't know. And then Dotto was upset because they stopped using him. It's like when they had Rico in the games, they were winning. And then they just slowed themselves down. And I saw Bryce Young's face. And I already know what he'd been through. And the look on his face was the same look that Michael Pickens Jr. had on his face. Like they just want to cry. But they can't. Because they know it ain't right. You think they don't know the difference when in the pocket they got 5 seconds to throw, and when it comes out to the last drive, I got 1 second to throw? You think they don't notice that? And you think they don't know who doing it? Of course they do. And it sucks because I finally made it all the way here after being here for 5 years, which y'all let me get sacked 65 times. Then you humiliate me and bench me. This is after I win the Heisman. Same thing with Caleb. This is after I win the Heisman. Try to tell me I ain't shit. That's what they be trying to tell them. Isn't that what they try to tell Shedeur? They just constantly trying to tear down these black quarterbacks. People talking about in Houston, they want CJ Stroud bench because he made some mistakes. I said, I know y'all ain't talking about when number 60 kept missnapping that damn ball. Because I know exactly what a missnap looked like. They just throw the ball and don't even look or nothing. It's just ridiculous. And I said, all they doing is telling people they not going to win the next game. It's like they be signaling to whoever's watching so you can know what to expect. This is what we're going to do the next game. How is it that Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin both were 18, 19 years in? Both get fired, if you just want to call it that. Mike Tomlin stripped of his power first and then pushed out because he didn't want to be no lamed up. And honestly, he didn't have no choice. He didn't have no choice. So they bought him out, basically. But get this. Pittsburgh gets to choose whether or not he can coach again. So they got him on the fence. So they already pushed the narrative. He going to end up in media somewhere. They just don't want him in coaching because he's instrumental in the draft. I want to see how long it is before they pick up on the fact that all these black quarterbacks went back to school. I want to see how long before that narrative, well, damn, a lot of black quarterbacks went back to school. I want to see how long this trend continues with black quarterbacks holding off on going to the NFL. I told you I'm waiting on somebody who is good, who could go to the NFL, who is out of eligibility, who says, you know what, I'm going to Canada. And they might go through the draft because they play ball at different times. And then see how it go and go, you know what? No, thank you. Instead of signing that contract, they're going to bounce and go to Canada. I'm waiting on that. I'm waiting on that. And for y'all that haven't heard, Russell Wilson and his wife are in Bennett, right? Y'all know they pushed Russell Wilson up. But I like Russ. You know what, Russ? Apparently, they're going to have dual citizenship because some program, if you have African ancestry, you can have dual citizenship in Bennett and, of course, still be a U.S. citizen. So Sierra has hers. Russ is getting his. And he said he wants to bring American football to Bennett. I like that because somebody better do something. Because you see how it's going. And they have no shame. No shame. So, yep, that's what I say. That's what I say. It said Jordan going to Texas to play with Arch. Well, maybe they're gonna get two left tackles because they got one today for $300,000. Maybe they're gonna get Jordan for $3 million. I don't know. So he ended up at Coach. He's at Mississippi State. They said he ended up visiting over there. So I don't even know if he went to Texas. I don't follow him no more, so I don't know. But you could be right. We don't know. We're just gonna have to wait and see what tomorrow brings because the circus is moving. It's a traveling circus. Instead of Bears and the Texans. Me too, Crowley. Bears and the Pats. Okay, Coach. I'm gonna say Coach's prediction. Bears and the Pats. Texans and the Bears. Okay, that's who I have. Texans and the Bears. Seattle wins the bowl. Yeah, I ain't gonna be watching, Val. I ain't gonna be watching unless Jalen Milroe playing. It said I watched the clip of Leonte and his girlfriend at his last game. She was looking very refreshed, ladylike, and savvy. Yeah, I like her mama Tia. I'm a big fan. It said if a black QB makes it to the Super Bowl, Queen, will you do a watch party? Yeah, if it's it ain't nobody else but CJ and Caleb. So yeah. Let's see if they let Caleb as a bid. We'll see. She has a new show on her podcast also today. Who are we talking about? You talking about Angel Reese? Yes, Angel is really good. I like her podcast too. It said they want Josh Allen to win. You know they do. You know they do. It said J5, if you're watching, keep your head up. It said we will forever support you. Love the fact that you, LeJontay, Zay, and all of you guys that rock together, blessed up. It said, I believe some of you guys be chiming in. Possibly. It said Angel is a part of the movement. Yep, I think so too. I think so too. Thank you, Ramon. It said, pay attention, chat. Yes, it said the league is going global. Absolutely. The NBA is going global. The NFL already has gone global. And so, soccer coming this way. so, I guess, and that's actually a good thing, right? That's actually a good thing because people are different outside of this country, right? They're a little different. They tend to kind of they hold people accountable a little more. That's just what I've seen. But they did say Europe, so we'll see. Good evening. Hey, Amber. It said I'm taking my single little view and avoiding the Super Bowl. Yeah. It said Shiloh's crazy. Yeah, he funny. I like Shiloh's video with his mom. They pretty good. Hey, Sharon, how you doing? Welcome back. It said, well, Shiloh was bad as a kid. I can see that. I can see that. What did Coach Prime say? Shiloh kept him praying or something like that? I see that. And it's funny how Miss Pilar's so patient with him. But, that's moms like that. When you have multiple kids, you just kind of learn to just. But it seems like to me, Shedeur is more like Miss Pilar. This kind of calm, mild manner. Like, maybe Shiloh is more Coach Prime, both outgoing, outspoken. I don't know. What y'all think? It says Simone Biles is a beautiful soul. Love this for Angel. It said through all of the ridiculing, she's still striving. Yes, her mother is amazing. Nola, you are phenomenal. Keep the content coming. Thank you. Yeah, I like Angel Reese. Angel Reese's mom is a huge protector. But I'm telling y'all heard it here on What She Said Sports First. Those two, Wendell Carter Jr. and Angel Reese, they get married. I ain't saying this right now. Yes, I'm an observer. I can see it. And I'm gonna tell you when I saw it for the longest, she didn't even want their relationship to be public. It was like she just wanted to keep it between them, right? And he was at her games, right? And I'm looking at how he was with his own mother. I'm looking at how he was with his family, his dad, how respectful he was, right? Yep, they get married. And she likes that. I think all she ever wanted was somebody, because I kind of got the feeling that her dad wasn't kind of like in her life. And with young women, you can kind of, it matters. It matters. And it's the way they move, you can kind of tell that they weren't, right? And she kind of got that love that somebody cherishes her, right? The way a father cherishes his daughter. And when you don't have that, you tend to kind of put yourself out there to get that, right? And you see, she don't move like that. That's why I say Angel Reese, the girlfriend, that's a woman. That's a woman right there. So shout out to Angel Reese. It's a paint store. That's what he called it, a paint store and Sephora. So wait, when you say it's a paint store, it's Sephora and a paint store together? Or is it Sephora called the paint store because it's makeup and makeup is like painting your face? Let me know because I'm not big into makeup, y'all. I don't have no problem with people want to do it. That's just not me. It said, nope, love shopping with my mom. She allowed me to get whatever I want. Oh, that's good. Ramon said he didn't have a problem with it. So remember when Shiloh was like, fellas, let me know if y'all hated shopping with your mom. So Ramon said he didn't have no problem with it. Okay, good to know. It said they want a white Super Bowl and they can have that BS without my view. I know that's right. It said hopefully a lot more people strike and avoid that game. Yeah. Some of these people act like it's church and they treat it like it's a religion. So I know that's how I feel, and some of y'all feel like that. Not everybody. So we'll see. I ain't worried about it. I'm not gonna watch it though. I already find me something else to do. Shiloh is a star, absolutely. It's that y'all think Shiloh is still trying to play in the NFL. That's the question I asked, Coach. I was like, I mean, he didn't try the Canada thing. I was thinking because he didn't give up the NFL, but it's kind of like he on the fence. He was saying in his interview with Darius that I like the content thing, and it's working, right? He went bowling with DeAndrea. The video he had before that, where they were in a restaurant with Snow and Shiloh are the content you didn't know you needed. Those two together, and then Snow. I was listening to DeAndrea talk about, she's particular about who she lets watch Snow. She said Snow is famous. People would try to kidnap him. And, you know, at first you're like, what? But I see what she means. Because he actually is famous. People know who Snow is, right? And he got his own page, and you know, he's popular here. He got more followers than some adults out here, self-included. On IG, I'm like, Snow is up there. And you know, it's like he a little star already. So it's almost like she just there for him to get the shine because, you know, she's older and she didn't play ball or whatever, and Snow is a baby and people like babies. So, you know, she's a byproduct of Snow's fame already, and he's not even 2. And he posted, they posted a picture, I shared it on YouTube, with him going to his first NBA game. So they got content ideas for Snow. Then Shiloh got his own content ideas. And when they link up, it's just really good. It's really good. So y'all check it out. Anthony said he rolling with the Texans. Okay. It's that Shiloh probably likes streaming. I think so too. It said kudos to Block Bully. He's not forgotten, right? And he is in Canada with, remember the guy, Aubrey Miller? He was drafted by the NFL from Jackson State when Coach Prime was there. Well, his brother plays for Jackson State this past season, I think, and he was doing pretty good. But he's in Canada, and they won a championship. The team he played on, they won a championship. So here's what I say. When you're in college, like if you come out of high school and you're going to college this fall, right? Whatever they go to school, I don't know, for football. Get your fan base together. Do that first. Start engaging with people. Start posting. Yeah, I'm going to this school. Then you're going to get the school fan base behind you. And if they like your personality, you don't even have to be the best player on the team. You engage with them. You're a part of the team. I noticed that with Colorado. Like Jeremiah Brown, Ben Finessett, they love them too, right? Look at Darius. Darius is a celebrity up there, right? He don't play ball. So it's about engaging with people. And when you're on a team and the team is generally protected and people don't get around, when you're an athlete, they see you on campus, you're nice to people, you know, they just kind of start connecting with you. And you do that for 3 to 4 years. And honestly, if you make money for 3 years because you're engaging with people like Caleb Mathis has a robust YouTube channel, and he's had it for a minute. If he doesn't play ball, it doesn't matter. He been getting paid. And he gonna keep getting paid because he know how to make content. Look, what is Shiloh doing now? Content. So if Caleb never sees the NFL, whether it's a GM, because I think I heard he want to be a GM, and he probably could be. If that doesn't happen, if he decide to do something different, he already getting paid. I was looking at where he lived. I'm like, you got a whole room for streaming in college? Y'all living like kids up here. I thought the kids in Atlanta they out here living in high rises. I'm like, what y'all gonna do when y'all graduate? Y'all better get one of them degrees that pay $80,000 on minimum, because you ain't gonna be able to live like this. So, I mean, I think if you come into it now and you get that audience together, you get it. Because if you black and you a quarterback and you want to go to the NFL, you don't need a fan base. That's why a lot of them kids gone back. They saw what happened to Shedeur. And I want y'all to understand something. They did it to one of the best, whose father was the best, and they respect DNA. The league likes DNA because they know they don't want that. And them kids saw that. So I think NIL, even though people hate it, when you look at Dante's story, you look at, you know, he was going back to school and they over there talking to Raiola, and he like, I'm still going back to school. So it's going to be here or somewhere else. And maybe they was like, well, we can't have him go nowhere else. Because honestly, if you think about it, Dan Lanning is doing what the league wants with quarterbacks, especially the ones that's not white. Dylan included. He just let himself be a pawn. See, Dylan's reward was his contract because he was supposed to be an undrafted free agent. So he surely wasn't going to help and give a damn about Shedeur. Dante Moore picked up on they were going to devalue him. They were either going to send him to a team where they trying to fire the coach who's black. I don't want to be a part of that. It's crazy that they even think for 5 seconds that these black players are going to be okay with them discriminating against the black coach or a black quarterback or a black GM. Don't nobody want to be a part of that. So I say give them what they want. Take that $7.5 million and put it with whatever you had before. Because I think Dante was Dylan's backup. And if I recall, there was a black kid that was there after Bo Nix left. He thought he was going to be the starter. And Lanning passed him up and went and got Dylan from, I think, Oklahoma. And then somehow Dante ended up behind him. I need to go find out who was the backup behind Bo Nix to see what happened to him. Because that kid was hurt. He was like, I stayed in and put in my time. They ain't give a damn. And I don't even know how many black quarterbacks they've had at Oregon. I know Bo Nix. I don't know who was before him. I'd have to go look. And it's crazy because Bo Nix's adopted brother is black, right? And he was wide receiver. Tej Johnson, is that his name? They drafted him in the 7th round. I have a feeling they're going to be devaluing a lot of black people in the 1st round. I ain't watching it, but I'm going to see what the results are when it's over. That's what it's giving. Because if you think about what the Browns just did, remember they was talking about the Ayuk guy? And you don't hear that no more because they went and got that other guy who hasn't played in a year to give him a futures contract. So we'll see if they get the Ayuk guy. But I told y'all how Andrew Berry be doing those black players. So it said Shiloh is NFL material. He is, but they don't respect him. So you shouldn't put up with that. It said, I think he's done with playing ball. We're going to see if he do an off-season, coach. Hey, Henry, how you doing? We're going to see if he do an off-season. Travis is a dog. Facts. They love Travis. It said Shiloh said the other day he's still staying in shape. It said, because you never know when you get that call. He's right. Because the guys that the Browns just signed, he didn't even play last year. A whole year gone. And now what? On a reserve contract. Technically, they making him a camp body before they put the camp roster together. When I looked up reserve contracts to kind of see what that is, it's kind of like we got first dibs on you or something like that. And a lot of those people, they say, become camp bodies. And the guy was so elated. I was just like, he probably good too. Yep. Oh, did y'all know that Luke Floria was elevated to they signed him to a futures the 5th. The game was on the 4th. So the next day after the game, they signed Luke Floria to a futures contract, just like the dude who didn't play last year. Did y'all see Luke Floria play with Shedeur? And they said they elevated him to the 53-man roster. Let me know if y'all saw it, because I didn't see it. Prayers for Travis. Yes, always, always, always. I think Shiloh wants to play, but he's waiting on Shedeur to see if he has the pull to get his foot in the door on the Browns tryouts this year. That's a good point. That's a good point. Because if that did happen, he would get a tryout. Remember, I told y'all Randy Moss' son got a tryout with the Minnesota Vikings. Where did Randy Moss play? The Minnesota Vikings. Okay, there you go. I told you they respect DNA. So you're right about that. That's a very strong possibility. But I think an earthquake would happen or some natural disaster where fans all of a sudden stop buying NFL tickets because they need food to eat to make them be different. Because the way they moving, shameful. And people know Travis is still him. Absolutely. Loyalty. Travis. That's what I say. I want to see a full season of Travis next year. Me too. And I kind of want him on a different team. Jacksonville on that slick stuff too. In case y'all weren't paying attention. When Travis was playing, they were underutilizing him. And then he got hurt. And then they say they wasted their money. That pissed me off. I'm like, first of all, he was there the whole time. And the only reason you was underutilizing him because he asked for his money and you gave it to him because he went fishing with Coach Prime. That's on you. And then he get injured. I know the insurance company picked up his salary. Wouldn't be surprised if they picked up $31 million. That's my guy, Travis. He going to be ready for the season. I agree. And we know he going to be right over there. Another great show. Thank you, Ramon. It said, Mama Tia said, happy for Travis' recovery. Ask Mama Tia, I've had 2 total knee constructive surgeries. Everything gone. Femur, tibia, meniscus, fragments. Everything learning to walk all over again. Oh, my gosh. Oh, wow. Yeah, you take it easy, Mama Tia. You got to learn how to walk all over again. Somebody said, I thought that was an old video. Me too. I thought it was too. But somebody gave it to me today. So I don't know. I'm just happy to see Shedeur out and look for me to be fighting whatever he got going on. It said, will Shedeur get his real number back next year? Probably not. The reason why I say probably not, y'all understand something. Why would anything be different next year? The owner's still over there. I mean, you can see what Stefanski gone. You see who the corporate is. They had the dude with the number 2, Andre, was that his name? Do y'all know he was on injury reserve the entire season with Shedeur's number 2? The entire season. So do y'all think Shedeur even want it back? Probably, because what is the name of his company? Too Legendary. So if he get traded, he'll get it. I think Shedeur gonna get traded. I think the Browns don't know Shedeur gonna get traded. I'm gonna be tracking that all summer. I think the Browns don't know Shedeur's going to get traded. You heard it here first. And he gonna get that too. Yep, the Browns don't know Shedeur's gonna get traded. It said, yes, okay, so Coach said it is an old video. Well, okay, somebody gave it to me today. I liked it, so I shared it. It was just nice to see Shedeur with Zay. I remember them going shopping last year too. Thank you, Coach. It said he needs to label that Legendary as his own. It said the gamblers are making it their own. What happened? The gamblers? What do you mean the gamblers? Let me know, Julian. It said, I wonder if he checked the post office box. I hope he did, because I sent mine and it arrived. It might be somebody up there. It might be somebody up there. And I sent a message to Shedeur. Mariah Carey got robbed twice. So just know. Don't turn your back on these people. Stefanski gone. It's just one of the problems out of the way, and the rest remain. And if he gets signed in Atlanta, I already posted on X. They talking about, yeah, I think the Falcons like Stefanski. I said, if the Falcons, who claim that Michael Penix Jr. is the starter next year, hire Stefanski, they playing in y'all face. And Stefanski's job is going to be to do to Michael Penix Jr. what he did to Shedeur. Because he did it to Jameis Winston, Deshaun Watson, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, and P.J. Walker. They all are black. Why would he be any different? Did y'all know Coach Prime had an unofficial nickname of Mr. Atlanta? I was doing some research, and I think I was looking up a photo of Coach Prime or something. I think I was looking up about his career, and I ran across a photo that somebody made on Facebook, and maybe they typed it in. And the photo said, it was a picture of Coach Prime with the A hat, the Braves, the Atlanta Braves. And then it was a picture of him in his Falcons uniform. And on the photo, somebody typed in Mr. Atlanta. Now, y'all know with the draft, I said they lied and they said it was the Atlanta Falcons, but I said it was because, Coach Prime played for the Falcons, so they was lying. They was covering up for the New York Giants, but they made the scapegoat the Falcons, right? And then come this robbery with these supposed 3 guys from Atlanta. And then they still don't know where the 4th one at. And we only saw 3 in a photo, and it was supposedly 1 in the car. But, I mean, the one that was in the car could be the one in the photo, and that's why we can't find number 4, because he a ghost. He was outside the hotel, but never in. But they were from Atlanta. And I was thinking to myself, I said, okay, I know Coach Prime lived here, and I told you these people are retaliatory, right? And I know that the Falcons never retired Coach Prime's jersey, which I thought was crazy. And I heard when he hit free agency, they didn't even make him an offer as much as he did for the city. right? And for the team, put them on a map for the most part, right? Like when you see anybody with a Deion Sanders jersey on in this part of the country, in Texas, well, Texas, probably Dallas, it's a 21 jersey. And I venture to say Coach Prime jersey might outsell Michael Vick jersey. And what I see in Atlanta, the older people have on Coach Prime jersey, and a lot of younger people wear Michael Vick jersey for obvious reasons, right? So I was like, I wonder if something happened. And don't tell me nothing about that dude with that goddamn water, because that ain't it. Well, it could be that issue, but that's not Stefanski's relative. I'm like, I wonder if something happened. And they keep pointing back to Atlanta to let somebody know, remember what you did. I mean, they do keep pointing back to Atlanta. And it very well could be that incident, but that's not Stefanski people. People kept saying that was his relatives. That's not his relatives. But I mean, it could be that incident. Because I remember Coach Prime said, punish me, not them. So I don't know. And when I saw Mr. Atlanta, I was like, hold up. So I was like, it's like that's his unofficial nickname. That's not Prime Time is his nickname, and Neon Dion. But Coach Prime did live here for a minute. And you know, and it might not have nothing to do with football. It could be somebody he knew in the personal space. And they just keep doing stuff. And I don't know why the league would blame the Falcons. So that makes me think it is the league itself, not the water thing. That's why I said that was baseball. That's different. And as far as I know, I watched the documentary. The Braves liked it. The players and stuff for the Braves, they liked it. They thought the way he was treated was highly disrespectful. So I don't think it has anything to do with the water thing. But there is something that maybe when he played for the Falcons, because I know they did him dirty when he hit free agency. And then he left and he was a winner when he left. It could be something from that. It could be something from his time in Atlanta, and they keep trying to let him know by constantly. You could have blamed the Baltimore Ravens because Coach Prime played there. You could have blamed the 49ers. You could have blamed the Dallas Cowboys. You blamed the Falcons when you didn't have to, because he played for several teams. I think he played for the Commanders. I didn't even know he played for Washington. So you could have blamed any team that he played for. And now this is the second thing that's tying back to Atlanta. So there may have been something about his time as a Falcon, not a Brave, a Falcon. Something transpired, and somebody within the league is trying to let him know. Yeah. Because I remember Coach Prime saying, y'all remember Coach Prime when he got out the hospital, or he was in the hospital, and he said he had to change his phone number because people was like coming at him and stuff like that. And he said, they want to believe somebody they just met over somebody that they've been knowing for like a long time or something like that. So something's happening. Somebody trying to get at him. And I'm wondering if they were in the league and they are the reason these things are happening to Shedeur. The robbery, even though I still feel like there was an inside job, but it could be like the owner of a team or something. I don't know. So it's somebody high up. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's somebody on that ownership level or the commissioner level. Because you heard what the commissioner said. I'm worried about your pops. And he not psychic. So it could be him. Yeah. Now, I don't know what the hell has transpired, but I remember when Coach Prime used to hang out under the gazebo in Dallas, he was saying they took in racism out the end zone, right around the Super Bowl. And Coach Prime said something about, you preach about love, because it said some slogan they came up with had love in the thing. And I knew he was talking about the commissioner. So I think what's happening to Shedeur, it's got something to do with them owners, because commissioners don't rule the owners. The owners rule the commissioner. And the commissioner is carrying out how they feel. And that's typically what it is. He a patsy. But somebody in the group of 32, like Jerry Jones and the commissioner, got all owners and a commissioner, the league itself, against Shedeur. And it happened after the Super Bowl because Coach Prime was on the stage with Belichick, and Shedeur was hanging out in the rooms with them. And that's when Roger Goodell said, I'm worried about your pops. So they already had it planned. They already had it planned. And I think at the time they had just lured them in to make them feel comfortable so they could eat in the back. And that's kind of what happened. So they could come to Green Bay. And they got pissed off when he didn't come. So it's pretty high up in the NFL. That's my point. That's my point. So I don't know. I have no idea. I will tell you, it's pretty high up. No, this isn't a recent clip. Okay, so that is from last year. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Tillman. I appreciate it. It said it's old, but of course we love, right. It's old, but we love CSA. Absolutely. It said, I am sure he did. It said Coach Prime is a brand. Absolutely. It said Jordan is getting played. That's what it's looking like. We're gonna see what tomorrow brings. Coach Prime walked the walk and talked the talk. Yep, he did. And I knew people hated him because he had the audacity to be black, to be confident, and everybody liked him. Now I'm gonna tell y'all something about that Super Bowl video. When they were in the rooms and they walked up to Roger Goodell, I want you to look at the face of the women that were standing there when Shedeur walked up, and Roger Goodell's face when Shedeur walked up. And I immediately felt like, oh, they don't want him, because I saw how the girls, I saw them girls, I saw them ladies, and I saw Roger Goodell's face kind of sour, but he faked it, right? But I saw them girls like, oh, you know how the women be, right? And remember when Coach Prime was talking to Jerry Jones, and something about, but that's mine. It was a woman. I think it was a black chick, they said. And I was like, I know all this shit ain't happening for no damn woman. But wars have started because of women. So I don't know who Coach Prime was talking to, but it was a black chick. And Jerry Jones took some kind of, he stopped talking to Shedeur to actually start saying, Prime, that's mine. He was talking about a woman. So I think they threatened because they ladies like Coach Prime and Shedeur because they are charming. Now, what if all of that shit is about that? Because they came back after the draft and said right around February 20th, 15th through the 20th, the NFL doesn't want quarterbacks like Shedeur. They didn't say that before. They didn't say it before. They said it after the Super Bowl, after the Jerry Jones. And notice, we ain't seen Jerry Jones talking to Coach Prime yet. The only person in the ownership group we saw be nice to Coach Prime initially is the Raiders coach, and it was after the robbery. So Shedeur, this could be taken out on Shedeur. And I don't know if it's a woman involved. I didn't see that much. If you go back and watch that clip from Bucky, you're going to see what I'm talking about. I don't know who the hell the woman was, but somebody said she was black. And Jerry Jones was like, damn, they're about freaking out behind it. I was like, are they pissed off with, I said, let me find out that this guy, them old fogies got something to do with a woman. And they mad because Coach Prime was talking to some woman, or they felt threatened. Because that's the impression the commissioner gave me when Shedeur walked up and was talking to, well, he wasn't even talking to the ladies. They was just staring at him, and he didn't say nothing. They was just, I think he introduced them or something like that. And they was just all in his grill, you know. How you gonna get mad at Shedeur or Coach Prime because they women find these two attractive? See, and a lot of the stuff that happens in NFL, it has a lot to do with that. It has a lot to do with that male type of insecurity. So, like I say, the Browns don't know. I think Shedeur gonna get traded. Someone opened up Jordan Seaton's nose for nothing. Something happened. Maybe he was acting out. People didn't like it. He got played if they signed another tackle. They did. I'm like, wait a minute. When I saw that, I was like, and it's funny because when the guy, when it was posted, dude hit the portal. I don't know him. I just was like, oh, he went to Wake Forest. He used to protect Robbie Ashford. And then somebody posted, oh, we could get him at CU. I was like, oh, cool, like that, right? I go come back from lunch, and he at Texas. I'm like, wait, huh? I thought he was a left tackle. I went back. I'm like, how much they pay him? I'm looking it up, and the article that I had his salary at the top, $300,000, and Jordan Seaton's at the bottom, $3 million. I was like, oh, well, I'm pretty sure they knew that, because Texas didn't say it. Inside Texas said we're all in on Seaton. I don't know. I think Seaton might be Isaiah Agustave. I think that might be what's happening here. We're gonna see. Because how you go from you're visiting Texas to your plane landed in Mississippi at Mississippi State, how you go from Texas to Mississippi State? And Coach Load Hope is over there. So when Coach Prime kept saying, listen to a fool, I wondered if maybe that's, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I am bewildered about Jordan. It's a circus. It said, choosing that bag don't always work out, right? Because the bag don't always choose you. It said, now I'm not mad at Mississippi State. That's one of my alma maters. I can't imagine him going to Mississippi State, but I mean, maybe. I need Jordan to give back that Maybach. He probably gonna sell it. He probably gonna sell it, or it's gonna get stolen. But you know, people really been talking about that Maybach, y'all. People really been talking about that Maybach. They don't. That ain't right. Because think about it. You didn't just leave CU. The way you did it, you disrespected your bond with Shedeur and Coach Prime. And I had a photo of Bucky, Coach Prime, and Jordan Seaton. Yep. And they was all laughing. And I just shook my head. I'm like, this kid was too tight with these people for this foolishness. So we're going to see what happens when the circus lands tomorrow. It said he followed the bag and hoped that he mess up. Coach Prime says, don't follow the bag. No, don't follow the bag. But I think he was listening to somebody too. Julie said, I am just saying. The Maybach, yeah, no, I know what you're saying. It said Jordan was jealous of Shedeur. I noticed one thing about Jordan. He like attention. I was like, I posted on X. I said, does Jordan seem like this kind of attention to be having people straggling around on the internet, all talking about him all day, or what? That's what it was kind of given till Mississippi State popped up in the conversation, because that don't make no sense. But he might be one of those people. Some people like to be talked about, right? They like to be the topic of conversation. But people pointed out how materialistic he was. But I was like, I mean, it's a lot of materialistic people. So he young. I didn't really pay no attention to that. But when I found out that he wasn't there for Juju last 2 games, I said, oh, he already had decided to bounce. And it's like he stayed to partake in disrespecting Coach Prime. And I feel like when Coach Prime said, don't listen to a fool or something like that, or if you do things to be small, you won't be seen. I feel like he was still trying to reach out to Jordan. You know, that's what I think. That's just my honest opinion. I don't know. That could mean nothing. But that's what I saw. And here we go with this weird situation. So tomorrow we'll see what happens. But I don't know how you go from being all in $3 million. I mean, maybe you was all in and you was going to never give him $3 million. Maybe that's what he wanted. And you was going to use Texas as a brand to say, look, we might give you $300,000. Because you sure went and got somebody who had a do not contact tag when they hopped into the portal, which meant they had somewhere to go. And Jordan Seaton didn't have that. He was still open to be contacted. So I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. It said they gave him everything and he jumped. Yep, make your money. But yeah, it's okay to make money, but it's how you go about it. It's really how you go about it. It said Jordan and I want to be. Jordan said I want to be playing in December. And December? What you mean, Coach? Pay attention. What you mean, Coach? Thank you, Remind. It says Seaton trying to raise his draft stock for next year. Okay. All right. Oh, he want to be playing in December. Okay, and that's fine. And I said that. I was like, it's cool if you want to go to another school so y'all go to the playoffs and then you could be out and trying to vie for the Natty, because why? They already had a lineman leave Colorado and go to Indiana. And I kind of felt like those two were talking. I did. And it was something funny going on with that one. And it's apparently something funny going on with Load Hope. So now you know there was a problem on the O-line. See, I told y'all we don't find out till way, way late things have been transpiring, right? So the fact that Load Hope refused to make adjustments with Shedeur in there, and all he would do is scream, I was like, either he's not a good coach or he's screwing Coach Prime over. It said, Coach Prime said, once you in the portal, you can't come back to see you. I hope if this turns out to be they either turned away from him or they played him, I hope that remains the case. You got to learn. You just got to learn, damn it. And I don't think that's a good idea because that's just gonna have people all kind of disjointed. No. So I agree with that. Just keep it pushing because that's what happened with Isaiah. I was stopping. I'm like, why would you leave if you were starting? And people said, well, he got a kid. It's for the money. I'm like, okay. And it turned out not to be true. And Bishop Thomas and the other guy that went with him to Georgia State say they played him too. And now and people said the players that leave CU, they get played. Look at the one that went to Kansas State. Number 3. Look at him. And a lot of these guys, when they get to their new school, they're not starters. They're not starters. And I wondered, I said, I wonder if Jordan Seaton gonna be a starter at Texas. Because when I was reading the comments, they was like, yeah, we need depth guys. When they said Jordan Seaton, Texas is all in on Jordan Seaton. One alum said, I believe it when I see it, and he right. And another one said, well, yeah, because we need depth guys. And I was like, and then I thought it was weird the way they said it. We Texas is all in on Jordan Seaton, but we want to see what Oregon do first. I'm like, if you want Seaton, you don't give a damn what Oregon got going on. So that kind of leads me to believe that they already knew they wanted to get the guy for $300,000 because he hopped into the portal with a tag. Don't call me. So that meant Texas was playing. And I ain't heard shit about Oregon in the last 5 hours. So I thought he was going to be over there. Right? So I don't know. This crazy. Both ways, this crazy. Because I don't know. It's just kind of weird. And I told y'all I thought it would be strange if he goes to Texas. But maybe they're going to get 2 guys. Maybe that's what it is. See, and you go to Texas to fix the arch. Hell, they say he the one gonna get the blame. Somebody said that too. They said, if he go to Texas and Arch don't get what he need, they gonna blame him. I'm like, yep. I think them kids hopping into the portal from over there. That's why Arch, they say he gave up some of his NIL money so some of the other guys could get it, but they still leaving. I'm like, because they already know the politics at play. For one, they ain't gonna never be seen. And secondly, they gonna get the blame. And look at what they did to Quinn Ewers. Because he didn't want to be benched for Arch Manning. He got drafted 13. Dead last. Now, that was rude. I'm like, I already knew what that was about. And what did he do? So when it comes to the people that they'll step on anybody. They'll just step on anybody. Allow Jordan to secure the bag. If that's what he want to do, but you ain't got to be underhanded about it. We don't care if he secured the bag. But you don't have to do Colorado wrong. You don't have to stab Shedeur, Coach Prime, and Bucky, all of them in the back. Like, he in too many of their pictures and videos. They brought him in family just like they did Travis. You didn't see Travis stab the people in the back. Now, when he had his little relationship issues, you saw him kind of distance himself. And I felt like he did distance himself before the draft because, okay, that's how people be hearing stuff. But who helped him get his money on a Sunday? All 31 million of it. Coach Prime. So that's just what it is. Everybody in Colorado was getting money. Yep. And that was my thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. If they got 2.5 million to give him and he want to leave to get 3 from somewhere else, he don't want to be here. Because you don't lose a deal over 500,000 when you're talking millions. That's just, you don't do that. So I got the impression before he just didn't want to be there. Now that Load Hope has entered the conversation, there's something going on. And that's what the don't listen to a fool was about. Let it go. You just gotta let that go. Like, he grown, we all adults. It's just some are a little younger than others, but he know right from wrong. He know he didn't have to do that like that. It's like they wanted to leave Coach Prime high and dry with the left tackle. And I thought it was weird, totally weird, that the day they signed that guy that was the left and the right tackle from, I forgot what school, was it U of H? Or whatever school he went to. Georgia, Bo Hughley. Bo Hughley signed that morning and Seaton was in the portal that afternoon. I was like, what, he don't want no competition? So maybe Load Hope was like, see, he gonna bitch you. He not gonna let you get your sign. I don't know. It must be saying something. Somebody's saying something. And I thought he had an agent. Because if he had an agent, I don't know how you let him act like this. It don't look good. It says, some hop into the portal, never to be heard from again. Right. Because as I was saying earlier, tomorrow's the last day to get in the portal, but you could be there next year and not have a scholarship. And maybe you could get a scholarship the year afterwards, but not necessarily. He wants the spotlight on a winning team. I think he wants to play in a bigger program. And that's cool. And if he wants the spotlight at Texas, he ain't going to get it. That's why them other kids from Texas left. If you want the spotlight at Texas, you ain't going to get it. If you want the spotlight at Oregon, you probably going to get that either. Name 5 people you know play for Oregon besides Dante Moore. Name them. Name 2. Name 1 besides Dante Moore. I rest my case. All I have named is the quarterbacks and Bo Nix's adopted brother, Tez Johnson. That's it. That's it. It said, what she said, sports. Anthony Lima from 92.3, the fan is watching you. He posted on X that some of Shedeur's fans think his home invasion was orchestrated by the Browns. Good. Like I said, the Browns don't know Shedeur getting traded. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. I saw somebody took my post and sent it to Tony Grossi and asked, is it true? Because I said it was, I feel like it's an inside job. And I was like, whatever. And I just kept it pushing. I don't care. Why they don't talk about it? You don't think that's strange? They don't want to talk about it. Why they don't want to talk about it? They want to talk about Shedeur when he tied his damn shoes. They care about you going to wear your hair like that. But you don't want to talk about they caught the robbers. I thought you would be happy. The Browns don't know Shedeur getting traded. Let's keep it pushing. Thank you for that, TK. I appreciate it. It said, it's bizarre, though. We never saw the NFL, not like Dion, right, until last year, and they liked him at the Super Bowl. You know what? We're going to be taking a look back. I'm going to grab that footage if it's still out there. We're going to take a look at it. Because that's just crazy, right? Because I still have the audio from, what's the one name that was having a fit on draft night about Shedeur? Because he realized when they said they don't want quarterbacks like Shedeur Sanders. Nah, understand this. 17-32 ain't got shit to do with Shedeur. And that was going to happen regardless. But what I'm talking about is how they were nasty with the prank call and they lied and said it was Atlanta. See that kind of stuff? Now you have this robbery and you went and got 4 black guys because you clearly don't respect black people, right? If you don't respect black quarterbacks, if you fire Sashi Brown because he wanted to draft Lamar and you didn't want Lamar and you didn't want Sashi Brown to do his job and he black, you fire him. Look how you treat Shedeur. Look at how you treat Deshaun. Look at how you treat Andrew Berry. You don't like black people. So if you hire 4 black people, you know what you thought you was going to do? And that you probably did? You hired 4 black people from Atlanta because you keep wanting to point back to Atlanta. And you didn't do this by yourself. What you probably did was you hired a point person to communicate with the robbers from Atlanta. That's if they truly exist. Apparently they do. You kept your hands clean because you had a point person. The point person did the drop off, the pick up, the logistics, and all of that. Well, of course, they're not talking to them. Hell, they got a whole damn group of lawyers that y'all don't even know exist until people bring them up. That's been around since 1970. Remember that group that's in the middle? We even forget what it's called because don't nobody talk about it. So you know they got intermediaries. So what they did was they hired an intermediary to run point. to find somebody, to find them, to hire them, to pay them, to give them the logistics, to tell them what to do. And when they went back to Atlanta, because they don't respect black people, they told the police where to find them. That's why they found them like that. And I want you to think about something. The police said, yeah, all 3 were a traffic stop. I'm like, 3 separate, you found 3 people on 3 separate traffic stops in the same area. Really? So you stopped them for a blinker and, oh, you robbed Shedeur. Bullshit. Ain't nobody gonna believe that. Nobody. Not in a court of law. So do they expect them to make it to a court of law? No. They expect them to take a plea. If they want to go to trial, it's gonna go bust wide open. They don't let that happen. They can't even find number 4. The things that people do that they don't have to do. Still think Seaton on that slick stuff. Of course he is. It's that Jordan been on that. Yeah. I mean, when I found out that he didn't protect Juju, I'm like, the picture with him sitting next to Juju that I just shared about a couple days ago comes back. I'm like, you quit on Juju? So you just quit on the team. What did you stay for? And I had a picture that he posted on a balcony, which looks like it was in Miami. It was a high rise. And you know, he liked to do what they do. Pay attention. Where's Shiloh and Shedeur at? Now, from what I could see with the picture, it was a high rise, and he said new goals. So he was already spending the money. He was already spending the money, and maybe he's gonna get it from Oregon. I don't know. But I looked at the photo and I said, oh, he getting a new place, right? And this was, I think I saw this before we knew he was leaving. I just assumed he was gonna still be at CU. He got a bag from CU. Looked like he was getting him a high rise in Miami. It didn't look like Colorado because I ain't see no mountains. I just saw a city flooded with lights. I mean, he could have been in Dubai for all I know, but I didn't see the Burj Khalifa, so I figured he is in Miami. I mean, he could have been in New York, but it wasn't given that. It wasn't given New York because they stuff was made different. It was given, he was at some penthouse with a wide balcony in Miami, and you could see the city in the back, or some other city like New York. And maybe it is New York or Washington, D.C., because he's from the DMV area. But it looked like Miami to me. So I just thought he was spinning the bag because everybody kept saying he got the bag. But when I read Omarion said, get yours, brother, it made it seem like he was leaving to get the bag. Like he didn't get the bag from CU. And I felt like everybody was leaving because CU kind of put it out there. They don't have no money. But Coach Prime came back and said the ones that earn it get the money. And then the other dude signed it and Jordan bounced. So I don't know. Maybe he pissed because they signed another left tackle. I have no idea. We'll see where he goes. I'm sure he made the best choice for him. Oh, I'm sure he did too. I'll just say it. Mississippi State doesn't have any Texas money. He's out here making a mess. Okay, so that makes sense. Because why would he? That's why people are like, you visiting Mississippi State. Yeah. Well, maybe he signed with Texas in the morning. Maybe they're going to have the backup guy be the $300,000 guy and Jordan Seaton be the $3 million guy. I don't know. I have no idea. But I don't know where Mississippi State coming at. He might end up at LSU. He might. Because they have the #1 recruiting class for obvious reasons. Instead, and although that's my alma mater state, wouldn't be paying in a significant bowl, planning in a significant bowl for a while. Yeah, I don't know them to be like that. I know they have players come from Mississippi State in the NFL, but I just don't know them to be like that. Boo Carter is like that. Yeah, I'm excited about him. I'm excited about the class we have. I am. I'm excited about the class we have. All right, it's over 2 hours. I'm going to get out of here. We'll be back tomorrow. I'll update y'all on Jordan Seaton when I hear about it, because I'm sure I'm going to hear about it tomorrow. This has got very, very interesting turn of events. Last I heard before I went live tonight was Mississippi State. He was visiting Mississippi State. Maybe he just went to visit. I don't know. We'll see tomorrow. All right, y'all have a good night. Thank y'all so much for the support. Don't forget, if y'all want to talk about getting together and going to Colorado's game, Georgia Tech in Atlanta, let me know. Email me what she said, 404 at G. I know it's early. But I'm just putting it out there early in case, you know, as we get closer, people get excited and like, oh, I want to go to the game. We just all go together. All right. I'll see y'all later, or be there at the same time. I'll have to see y'all later. Thanks for watching What She Says Sports. Good night, everybody.